morning. I swear a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Library of Ruina. Welcome back to our showcase and assessment of strange, bizarre, overpowered, or ridiculous, or dumb, or anything decks, really. Welcome to Combat Assessment, welcome to Anthology, welcome to Proving Grounds. I don't know, title pending, still haven't decided yet, to be honest, but got an interesting one for you today. It was actually submitted to me on Discord by Black Cat, and it's definitely more complicated than anything I've run with before, which worries me because I feel like I'm definitely going to get it wrong, but fortunately, they provided me with a very handy cheat sheet, which I will actually put up just for a moment so you guys can see it. Maybe put it in the corner or something while I'm talking. But yeah, let's get into this, and I'll be drawing from this cheat sheet extensively, because I'm not confident in my ability to actually do this. But it's based on Tiff's Floor. Okay, it is a build for a single character, but I am going to use a team for this, and I'm going to go into that in a minute. This is a Star of the City deck, and we'll be assessing it as such. It is based on Kalo's page, and it uses Offensive Position, Locked Potential, Calmness, and Unstable Charge as the passive attributions, but I have also thrown in Raging Torrent because I feel like it would help, and I had space for it, but that might fuck it up, but I don't know. I looked at that and thought, yeah, that would make sense. I had 2 passive attribution left over. I presume there's a reason why they didn't put it in, but we'll give it a try, and if it turns out it goes wrong, I'll just get rid of Raging Torrent, replace it with something else, if I can. I can't even, but it seems like it would help. So those are the passives. The cards are Unlock 1, Sense Quarry, Multi-Slash, Will Make, Find Silk, Bayonet Combat, Sakura, Will the Prescript, Focus Fire, and Ink Over. The idea is to use Sense Quarry only at 8 or 9 cards. Will Make, Find Silk will add cards, and it's a good power draw. Sakura cleans up cards added by above a mentioned, Sense Quarry and, or Will Make, Find Silk even, because sometimes it fills the deck, and Focus Fire is used to clean the ammo out of the deck. Okay, I'm just pretty much reading back what's being told to me. Things to note, a deck will only go up to 8 cards, but with ammunition, a deck can go up to 10 cards. This will make things like Will Make Find Silk roll a 10 to 12, plus 9 power. So let's say you have 7 cards and you use Multi-Slash and then an Ink Over in that order. How much power would Ink Over get? You would get 6 power. Multi-Slash gives 1 on the same turn. This is a very important thing to note for things like Sense Quarry, requiring you to have 7 cards that turn. Don't try to count ammo for this, it will just hurt your brain, just let the ammo do its own thing. Yes, this build is weird and dumb, but that's kind of why I like it. Out of all the discussions and playthroughs that I have seen, nobody has built something like this ever. It is really fun to run nonetheless. Customize this deck to your liking. The most important thing about all this is to just have fun. Finally, if we go to Floor Synergies, and this is why we're on the Floor of Natural Sciences, seems to synergize well with Void because that card exhausts all pages from hand. Every scene after this gains strength and endurance equal to the number of pages exhausted this way. And then after using Void, use Nihil. If there are no pages in hand, inflict 4 Feeble, Disarm, Bind, and Paralysis to all enemies this scene and next scene. This makes sense to me. Okay, so this doesn't go into using Tiff Zodia, which I don't think would be necessary. I mean, it's always useful, but I don't think it's necessarily built for this. I'm a little nervous about using this because I feel like I am just going to fuck this up. I don't quite understand how this Multi-Slash works. I believe it's saying it gives the card on the same turn. So Multi-Slash would replace itself in terms of how many cards you have in your hand. And this is very important for things like Sense Quarry. Okay. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But for everyone else, I've run something that I wanted to do anyway, or at least try out, and now seems like the time to do it. And I've given them Ujat with Golden Opportunity and Ready Up, because I want to see if I can just spam Protection, which seems appropriate for what we're doing here, because the main idea right now is to showcase Tiff with all of this shit. So if we just give her a heck ton of Protection, she'll last as long as possible, so I can try and figure this out and make sure I'm doing it properly. But Swirled, Ruina, and Faye all have the same thing. Raise the Grass times 2, Brace Up times 2, a Golden Opportunity, Ready Up times 3, and the Ujat. I forgot to give it to Faye. Wow, good thing I go over these before I start. There we go. Yep, everyone's got the same thing. The passives are Force Field, Charge Shield, Energy Discharge, Health Hauler, and Triple R Suit. And then Girardo Pippi has the same stuff but on Nemo's page with Energy Beam and the passive attributions, kind of breaking the rules on the Star of the City deck here, but 4 Trigrams and Hannah for all because I want to see how much protection we can rack up. So, this is a Star of the City deck, or yeah, just general build, it's supposed to be. Fuck it, we'll go up against the index. Because it's 5 on 5, so we get to use the full team. And we can test everything accordingly. So, yeah. I'm like, let's be fair, it doesn't matter if we win. I'm not worried about winning or losing. If I lose, that's fine. My concern is that I'm going to showcase this wrong. Which would be an injustice to the person who has sent it in. So, yes, there we go. Oh, and they're all going for Tiff. Okay, well that makes things. I don't think I've drawn well on the first turn, but you know what, we'll make it work. So the idea of make fine silk, I mean, it does, yeah, we'll make fine silk does add cards, so we could work with that. We throw out bayonet combat and we'll make fine silk. She'll take a few hits on the first turn, but we might be able to do something about that. Or at the very least, we have block die to contest the initial execute. Why do I keep starting these with index? Surely this is one of the more painful things to test against, but it worked before, it'll work this time, I guess. We'll use fine silk on you because it doesn't matter if we really take those hits, it'll be okay. You're not really going to beat that. Try that because you'll at least land a hit, and then you guys need to do what you gotta do, and I know exactly what you gotta do. 3 charge, spend 2 charge. Ideal. Simply ideal. Well, we've rolled well on this front, so that's pretty good. We're going to take a lot of hits, but that's kind of what we're building around, isn't it, really? Yeah, so you use Golden Opportunity on them, and then use Gone to increase your endurance, so you have more chance to win. You can't use Ready Up this turn, that's fine, just brace up against them. You know what, that would actually go better that way around, yeah, I think so. And then brace up, and then we'll see what happens. Yep, this was all expected. Not unsurprising. Or not surprising. It's actually going decently well. Good. That was decent. It was pretty good. That's about right. Okay, good. Well, it's happening. It's obviously not a build in any way, shape, or form where everything's going to kick off on the first turn, but Tiff does currently have 9 protection. So that's pretty good. Right, we're already off to a start. You got a lot of cards in hand now. 2, 4, 6, 7. We don't have Sense Quarry. Only up to 3 of this page can be held at once. Okay, we can make use of that, can't we? 4 plus pages, discard 4 and boost the minimum value. So that'd be the time to go in for an attack. Well, it doesn't matter if a die fails there, because you're getting so much protection you can just tank the damage. So that's fine. Plus, we are having to deal with the fact that they are getting buffs on every single attack they do, but multi-slash is necessary. We need that card draw. I say, yeah, just run it that way, and then these guys can intercept other attacks. So you've got 1 charge, you need to Golden Opportunity. The card draw on these Ujat decks could probably be better, and that's something I probably need to work on, but it's fine. Ujat that, and then follow up with Brace Up, and see what you can do. Sorted. Dealt with. Decisive. Oh, I was hoping that would be more. But you'll notice we're taking very little damage. Oh, that was more damage than I was expecting, actually, that Tiff just took. Good. Good. Interesting. Okay. We'll give Tiff the blessing. Because we'd like to improve her defense. Yes, we would. She's only getting 4 this time around. I forgot to use your thing last turn. So, Tiff, how you doing? You got some cards. Okay, 1 power for each card in hand. This hand isn't working out quite the way I want it to. For instance, Sense Quarry is useless right now. 1 power for each page in hand. Well, if you used only ink over, that would gain 2, 4, 5 power, which is decent. It would make it a 6, 11. And then the other 2 are unaffected. It would work well on them. And you do kind of need to throw out Unlock 1 so you can just get that going. It's possible that this deck probably works better on a long-term fight. This one might be a bit too short to really get the power out of it, you know? But at least we're making sure that no one's taking too much damage. Faye currently has 10 protection, so that's pretty good. So, world, it's just not working out for you right now, but that's okay. You just need more cards. That's all. That's fine. We don't take much damage. They're taking more than we are, so it is working out. That's fine. That all worked out. That was acceptable. Hey, unlock potential. Very nice. That's less good. It's certainly not efficient. It was never claimed to be, but it is interesting. So we'll give you justice as well. Yay, the music's back. Good stuff. Oh, and we got more cards. So 2, 4, 6, 7. We can't actually use Sense Quarry yet. But we could use all of the prescript, and that would get us where we need to go. So do that, and then follow up with Unlock 2, see if you can get that going. And then the rest of you, with all of your defensive bonuses, do need to cover Tiff a bit. But that's okay, we can make it happen. Another Ujat, you say? Oh, I do believe, why not? Get that one. So, World, you're ready to go with all of your... You've still got well, it's okay. That's why we've got Golden Opportunity. Yes. Faye, you just need more cards, and we can set you up with that. It's not a problem. Okay, right. Well, let's give it a try. Very nice. Good. That went quite well, actually. Surprisingly. I was expecting that to instantly fail. There we go. Go companion. We do want near hill. That is important for this. Well, at least it's good for the synergy. We can't use it yet, but it is good for it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're killing me! Does Unlock 1 work the same way as Multi-Slash is the question. So theoretically, if I use Unlock 3 first, and then use Sense Quarry, I will get the bonus for Sense Quarry. As long as I don't play another card on my next speed die, if I'm understanding the situation correctly. Which is a big if, and you can't use anything else. So if I'm right, let's turn quick mode off so I can actually analyze this properly. So, yeah, you're dead, that's fine. Oh boy. Oh, this did not work. Yeah, that didn't work the way I wanted it to at all. Okay, interesting. Can I turn quick mode back on now? Thank you. I have officially fucked it up and we don't need to stare at my failure anymore. Yes. Sure, we'll make Fine Silk roll extra, but we haven't gotten that card again for an extended period of time. We also haven't gotten Focus Fire to clear out the ammo. So this could just come down to poor luck, or really just me not playing it properly, but I don't know. I really don't know. You need to defend yourself, because this is getting silly now. She also has a distinct lack of light how much light regain is in this deck? 2. Wait, Multi-Slash and Unlock are the only light... That doesn't seem good at all. This is entirely dependent on gaining emotion coins. So this doesn't work for a long-term fight, but it barely works for a short-term fight either. Unless I am just horrifically playing it wrong. I'm willing to accept that, but I'm just a little confused here. Well, the Ujat lot can do their thing. That seems to be going quite well, so that's something. And these power bonuses are, you know, to like Sakura and stuff are all well and good, but they don't really seem to be enough to keep up with Star of the City. It's one of my main issues as well. Sure, if I can set up the specific requirements to get Will Make Fine Silk to roll a 10-12, yeah, that's great. But other than that, it's just kind of spinning its wheels a bit. Like, Focus Fire will work quite well, sure, but Focus Fire works well anyway, that's... I know this can be played better. I can definitely see that. But the way I'm currently interacting with, the way it's currently playing out just makes me think this is a lot of work. There's a lot of work and a lot of luck involved for something that is very minor, right? Like, this isn't like trying to roll Boundary of Death, where it's like, if it's hard to do and it relies on luck, but if it works, you will smack them. This is kind of a case of like, okay, well, you need to take a million different things into consideration and really think about it and really plan how you're going to do it and rely on luck. And then when you get there, you get middling results. Like, sure, I bet if you use Nihil and Void, like, I bet then that's an excessive amount of damage. But once again, that's something that doesn't really rely on this deck. That doesn't mean this isn't valid or anything. We're here to explore decks and see what fun things we can come up with. So I'm definitely not saying that this is not worth doing or anything like that, but it's, in terms of its utility, it's definitely questionable. To be honest, we've been held up a lot. Like, we've been propped up by the Ujats for most of this fight. And Tith has really... In fact, Tith is suffering the most because she keeps just getting twatted because her cards aren't working. Or not working the way I want them to. We'll give you a test. You know, try using Focus Fire. We'll at least let you do something. Took care of you. Focus Fire, ever reliable. You gotta love it. Stagger Deflect. Yeah, these guys are done. But maybe next round will give us an opportunity to just sort of refresh, as it were. Like, this started off weird and went poorly. Maybe we can just wipe the slate clean and try again. Yeah? Because all our hands are going to go back to normal. Emotion levels are up, that's great, but it really concerns me that this deck relies... Let me have a look at these cards. So, yeah, first of all, Unlock 1. Unlock's now gone back to Unlock 1. That's not good. Because now we need to get back to Unlock 3 in order to get the light regain from that. And Multi-Slash is the only other light gain card. Yeah, restores 2 light, that's lovely, but it costs 1. So for all intents and purposes, this is a restore 1 light card. Lest I'm crazy, and I might be, there is nothing here else that restores light. No, there's just that for card draw. So it feels like a deck where you'd get into your rhythm, you'd be like, all right, I've got enough cards to start really making this work and start managing my draw and stuff like that. And then you get to Emotion 5, run out of light, and it's like, well, I guess the fight's over, because there's nothing I can do. The Floor synergy with the Abno and Ego cards doesn't do anything for light either, so it does just bottom out. There's no longevity to it. Like, Tiff right now is at Emotion level 4. Soon she's going to be at Emotion level 5, and her light regen is just going to disappear, and she starts a new round with only 4 cards. Like, it just doesn't seem to work. Setting up Void and Nihil honestly seems like the best way to go. This seems like the strongest thing involved with this deck. Did you roll a 7? You bastard, what did you do that for? Makes you think that's okay. I mean, that's easily countered, so it's not really an issue, but, you know, I still don't like it. I like the ideas that have gone into this. I really do. I like the ideas. Very interesting ideas. Really, I don't know I can't think of the term right now. Really like battling the standard conventions of deck building in the game, right? Like, because a lot of people just, and myself included, I'm not even saying I'm above this. A lot of people, like, for instance, with this kind of stuff would be like discard deck, straight up discard deck. So I appreciate the dedication to being like, well, actually the goal is to try and maintain as large a hand as possible. But in practice, it just feels very luck dependent. Very luck dependent. And, like, look, everything I say about this deck is, I really want to stress this, is being said with the asterisk, the big, like, condition that I might be doing this horrifically wrong. I fully accept that. I fully do, but this feels... The deck itself feels a little unfriendly, right? It feels like it works in spite of your efforts, not because you're trying to set it up. It feels like, actually, yeah, I think that's how I would describe it. The more you try to set it up, the worse it works. It will work or it won't. Your input is minimal. Now, that's probably wrong. In fact, that is wrong, but that's what it feels like when you're playing it. but I'm not seeing a lot from this at the moment, I've got to be honest. Like I said, it's interesting. It is interesting. But not especially practical. I do understand now that I have I mean, I already did understand, but I know I've misplayed this in several ways, but, just not quite feeling it. And a lot of this, honestly, feels like it needs to involve covering for Tiff while she builds her cards, which, from that point, it not only does it become awkward to use, but it actually turns Tiff themselves into a bit of a liability. Because we're constantly covering for her, like, alright, we'll wait for you to get your shit together before you can actually contribute to the fight. Which, it's not great. That's not great. Like, here right now, for instance, we're so close to doing something half decent, but we need to cover for Tiff for just another turn. And these guys are rolling 6s, it's not always possible to cover for her. And the protection isn't really doing enough to counteract all the damage she's taking. Like, we don't actually have enough dice, really, to cover for everything. Even if we throw out unfavorable exchanges, we still don't really have enough. I'll try it. The whole point of this is to get this to work, but... Alright, well, let's think about this. Power draw, right? Go for that. And that, and then, I don't know, do your best. Hoping that will at least mitigate some of the damage we're about to take. Yeah. Okay, so now we have a lot of cards. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This is presumably the moment when Sense Quarry will shine. And the thing is, if the response to this is, oh, well, Foreman, this isn't really a very good encounter to use it against, that is valid. Like, that is a valid concern, but I should point out that lacking flexibility is not a point in this deck's favor. And like literally, we're about to run out of light as well. After this, we're gonna have virtually no light to work with. It feels like it's a lot of work to set the character up to near enough compete on the same level as everyone else. Whereas everyone else is just competing. Generally. And it's worth pointing out, these other decks I've made are not power fiends. These are protection buffers. These were designed to be support. And they have been supporting her, but they've also been performing better. Which is concerning. Once again, I cannot stress this enough. It's a fun idea and I like it, but it's just not very practical. It's a shame. I wanted to go into this and be like, wow, look how good it is, but I can't, in good faith, say that this is actually good. Oh boy, well that's not good. Still, we're not taking much damage. All the protection stuff is paying off. So we are just essentially landing hits. Good. No. Decent. But that's a problem. That's the problem. It was decent, not good. It was okay. It was a lot of setup for okay, I guess. Bayonet Combat basically did better. That's really unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. I think at the end of the day, if, oh boy, you're using Castigation, that's not good. No one else is using their big special. Okay, well, we can counter that, actually. In the name of love and hate, get rid of it. Because you can. Now, just because this deck doesn't appear to have worked out, doesn't mean it's not worth using, you know? Like, if this is something that you like the look of and you think this is worth checking out, I would highly recommend you do so, because it is interesting, and I bet there are better ways to play it than what I have done. But I would say, from this impression overall, I have found this more frustrating to use than actually, it hasn't been especially fun to use, I suppose. It's been more frustrating. Because it's a lot of build, like I said, like I keep saying, and I need to stop saying, it's a lot of build up for very little payoff. And then once you get to the stage where we are now, you're basically out. There's not really much left to do with it because it has no economy. Unfortunately, the same can also be said of these Ujat builds I made because, yes, the world has fuck all light and not a lot to do with it. We should probably kill you, to be honest. You're a problem. There we go, that got rid of one. Staggered them, very good. The power bonusing on focus fire is great, but of course, there's just better ways to do that. It's kind of the issue. Tiff is nearly staggered. Big hit, very good. Tiff is very nearly staggered. And like, just like that, a lot of Tiff's power has just gone away. Yeah, no. Okay, well now's the thing where we can make this happen. Well, this is our chance, right, to see if we can see how the big synergy works, right, in terms of how this actually works. All we need to do is keep them off of Tiff, which we can't do. Well, this turn will go how it goes. You got that. You got that. You failed that, but that's fine. Youch. But it didn't actually do that much damage because of all of the stagger protect and general damage protection shit we got, so that's quite good. Tiff died, which means we couldn't even do the big thing at the end. So, yeah, there's that as well. Alright, I'm gonna basically wrap this fight up off camera because the result doesn't actually matter and we've gotten all the information we need to see, but, yeah, I gotta be honest, it's not looking good. I hate to be like that, I do, but, man, it's not performed well. Sorry, Ruina. To be fair, the Ujat decks have actually performed insanely well. Like, everyone has taken fuck all damage. Combined with Hellfaller, these guys are practically immortal. It's kind of absurd, actually. Down you go. Now, the Ujat decks aren't perfect. Their long-term economy is definitely lacking. A lot could be done there. But in terms of the pure damage reduction we've been getting, it's been absurd. Like, these guys this is the second round, as it were, the second act, and these guys are barely touching 90% health. The combination of all these things with, Hellfaller has just done everything. Now, is that a particularly interesting build? No, not really. But I did want to try it out, and I have done it, and I have to say, it's been quite good. Luckily, you don't heal on attacks. Off you go. Interesting. Scared, pissed, and shitless. That's actually his fucking symbol name. Brilliant. Fantastic. Very good. Like, now that we're out of combat and can actually look at it objectively, let's think about this. So, I like the idea of stacking a massive hand to pay it off. I think that's a great idea, right? Just getting a bunch of cards and then spending them. And really the idea here is to keep a consistently high amount of cards, because a lot of these cards don't actually spend the cards in order to gain power. We'll make Fine Silk just gains power for having loads of pages. And it can go for as much the same way. Sense Quarry is also the same way. Complaints. Well, many. First of all, let's start simple. Light gen is a serious issue here. Unlock 3 and multi-slash is not enough. Most standard fights in the game don't last long enough for Unlock 3 to really start coming into its own. This might be really good perhaps for realizations or boss fights if we're looking at the light gen situation specifically, but unfortunately there are a lot of other factors here. Even assuming, let's go over these cards actually and sort of assess what's going on here. So Unlock 1, we've been over this. Sense Quarry, well, looking at this objectively, with this deck, the way it has been built, assuming you're using this on the 4th scene, that Pierce die is now a 4-8, pretty decent. Locks Potential, so that Pierce die is now a 5-9, and the defensive die are 3-6. Decent, especially for a 1 cost. Very decent. Calmness has the chance to boost the max value, but I gotta be honest, I'm not gonna take that into account because it's a 25% chance. So, it's not really worth it. Unstable Charge, decent idea actually, can help. So we're currently looking at 3-6s and a 5-9. Now, by fulfilling the exact criteria, those become 5-8s, and the Pierce die, let me just do the math again so I make sure I'm not fucking this up. Math is definitely not my strong suit, which is unfortunate for someone who's playing Ruina. 7-11, decent, very good for a 1 cost actually. That's very powerful for a 1 cost, but the problem is that there's so much is required to make this work. 7 or more pages in hand is not an easy amount to maintain, unless you are using very specific cards and not using any more cards than you need to, and having the rest of the team keep all of the enemy's attacks off of this character, and that's not all it makes me feel. And perhaps this is probably a difference in how I and the submittee of this deck play the game, or feel like how they play the game. It makes this character feel like a burden. It feels like they're just burdening the rest of the team to set their own stuff up. For a card that is decent, that's the big issue here. These results are decent. Not great, not game-changing, you can't throw these boosted cards out and be like, that's just going to take care of anything, or I'm confident this will deal with most situations. Now, we fought the Index. That's a hard one, right? They gain a lot of bonuses. You're supposed to lose a lot of those clashes, to be honest, but multi-slash is fine. No, obviously, that needs to be in there because we just don't have any fucking light gen. We'll make Fine Silk. So, in the most ideal situations, we'll make Fine Silk will roll a 10-12 plus 9 power. That's great. That's really good, right? Plus 9 power is an incredible amount, but not on this card. On this card, it's fairly worthless. Fascinating Fabric is actually really useful. I think that's a really good card. This is decent, especially for a 2 cost. But the problem is that it requires ideal circumstances to get that power, and if you don't have ideal circumstances, this is taking up space. This is literally just taking up space. Bayonet Combat, solid. That is a brilliant card. Brilliant. It's good for this, it's good for any deck involving ammo and shooting and something like this. Brilliant. Go for it. Yes, Bayonet Combat, absolutely. Sakura, I really like Sakura, but it's just not very good. This is a card I would probably replace. Like, I know this is supposed to be a Star of the City deck, but I would replace Sakura with Impugnatio Ultima, but the Impugnatio Ultima would severely damage this deck because a lot of the point of this deck is to maintain a high card count. But I don't know, I feel like perhaps can it be replaced with something else? To be honest with you, maybe just replace Sakura with Brace Up. You need more card draw. Desperately this needs more card draw. Like, so bad this needs more card draw. And which is bad because it already has a lot of card draw, but it needs more card draw and it needs more light as well. So maybe not even Brace Up, try how about And this won't be the difference maker. Will of the City. Restore 3 light, draw 1 page. You now have an additional light regain card, and you can draw a page. That's something. It's a start. Will of the Prescript? Oh, well, obviously. That goes without saying. Focus Fire is always fantastic. I have no complaints about Focus Fire. That's brilliant. Ink Over. Yeah, to be fair, if you have 6 cards, that's already a very effective card, but then the other 2 cards don't really benefit very much. Ink Over is a good card. I don't really have too many complaints about that one, to be honest, but Sakura's no good. Get rid of it. It's no good. Sense Quarry is also not great. I would say maybe replace that with a Brace Up, for instance. And this is pure spec. Some people are going to ask questions here. I should point out I'm not good at deck building, especially on the fly when I'm improving it, but this is just some initial impressions I'm getting. Now we have a bit more card draw, and we have some more light gain. Go into the passive attributions. I already did this because I was getting ahead of myself, but Calmness and Unstable Charge, gone. Gone. Not helpful. Decent. Unstable Charge is decent. Calmness is not worth it. Straight up. If you want, honestly, if you wanted to improve this, I think I would recommend going a bit more down the discard route. Get Hanafuda's page in there, perhaps. Stacking the deck. Get rid of Raging Torrent, bottom deal, and then one more as well. If I can find it, it's here somewhere. Best choice. More drawing, more light, recovering HP so you can last longer, because even with all of those protection buffs, she still died by the end of the battle. This was partially because she was losing so many clashes, but also because offensive position makes her vulnerable. In fact, I wonder if offensive position should be changed as well. But it is one of the few power gains we're getting that is not entirely reliant on cards. Get rid of Unlock because it takes too long to become useful. Actually, I'd say Overcome Crisis would be more useful. You've got page draw, and then if your HP is low enough, if things are going bad, you're restoring light, so it does help. And I'll say, replace Ink Over with Impugnatio Ultima. So you can actually get some honest-to-God power on your side, and that's not reliant on a specific amount of cards either. You can throw that out at any time. And in combination with stacking the deck, it's difficult, really, because the best way I can think to improve this, really improve this, is to turn it into a discard deck, which is completely destroying what the deck is. The more changes I make, the more I feel like I'm just killing this deck entirely and just not making it what it is anymore. But there is... I've had an idea. Yeah, I've had an idea. Okay, alright, let me see what I can do.
Ah, boy, here we go.
Also, worthy of note, the fact that this deck is singleton does not work if you're going to run ammunition, because ammunition ruins singleton. It destroys singleton. So, if we're going to want to make use of ammo here, which I honestly think is a good idea, there's a lot we can do with ammo, get rid of the singleton, because it does not work. I've tried that multiple times before without remembering that singleton is destroyed by ammo. So you either go singleton or ammo, and if we're going to use ammo, let's fucking use ammo. Let's actually go for it. But not just make what I made for, what are their names? Lorelei and Yui. Let's try and lean into what you want. Yeah? I doubt this will end up being something you like anyway, because, you know, you enjoyed playing this deck, and it had things in it that you enjoyed, and you enjoyed working with it in the way that it is. And that's fantastic. I respect that 100%. I think that is a brilliant way to go about playing the game. But I guess what I'm doing now is, if I wanted to try and make this work, here's what I would try and do. That's really all I'm doing now. If you don't like what I'm doing now, that's completely fine. You don't have to change your deck for me. Do not change your deck because I don't like it. Who gives a fuck whether or not I like your deck? If you're enjoying it, if you love this deck, keep playing with it. Enjoy every second of it. Does not matter in the slightest what I think. Alright, so I have attempted to change this in a way that I would enjoy doing. Now, if this does completely destroy what you like about this deck, that's fine. Don't use it. Don't even worry about it. I'm only doing what I feel works at the moment, and I don't even know if this is gonna work. I'm just trying to implement your idea to make something else. Like, I'm trying to build off of it. Otherwise, I would have actually built this differently. I would have done some different stuff with this. But I kind of wanted to make use of We'll Make Fine Silk because I think that's a fun idea. And I kind of want to... I feel like We'll Make Fine Silk is like the... To me, it's the more interesting part of this deck and the part I really want to focus on. So what I've done is I've gotten rid of Singleton because it does not work. 2 forward marches, a brace up, a reload, will make fine silk, 2 bayonet combats, and final stroke. The idea here is that we're going to abuse the shit out of ammo to give us more power. That's the idea. Constantly getting more ammunition. If we go into the passive attributions, let me show you what I've done. Bottom deal, stacking the deck, best choice, all this discard shit. Additional supplies, so that every time we exhaust ammunition, we add ammunition. And then psych up. So that if we need Tiff to back off, she'll restore light and draw a card. This is very experimental. I don't know how this is going to work, really. And I've changed the UJATs to... Hang on, did I change all of them? All of them except you. I should change you as well. Yeah, I changed all the UJATs to have an extra graze the grass because I felt that their light replenishment just wasn't enough. So the idea here is to build up a fuck ton of ammunition and then spend it. If we've got a fuck ton of ammunition, final stroke, and no will make fine silks, we use final stroke. If we do have will make fine silks, we go for them. And then we use final stroke to pay it off. That's the idea. Now the power bonuses here are lacking, which concerns me. But it makes me wonder, actually. So in order to try and make this work as well, I've decided to move us to social sciences, because I think some of these bonuses could actually help quite a lot. This is some very surface level like ideas for trying to improve this. Okay, like I do acknowledge the potential synergy of Void and Nihil, but I think just having overall better performance might be stronger for it than a big payoff, essentially. Although I appreciate that a big payoff might be more fun, but this is just how I'm trying to run it. So I've tried to move it to social sciences, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, okay? And I'm willing to crash and burn if it turns out this doesn't work at all. But we're going to go up against the same guys again, which I appreciate might be a little boring, but we have to make this a proper scientific measure, right? So, Hesed, because it's now Hesed instead of Tiff. Hesed's job is to build up his hand full of ammo and then spend it. That's his job. Everyone else exists to allow him to do that job while also providing him with protection. This is how we're going to try and run it. Man, I haven't seen this arena very much. It's very nice. See, we drew iffy on our first hand, but that's not even a big problem. Bayonet combat and forward march will be the way to go. We just need to cover everything else. So you rolled a 5. Forehead needs to deal with you first. Really, for now, we're just going to allow Hesed to land one-sided attacks. That's the plan. Regardless of how poorly this goes for us in return, it doesn't matter. Pick one of them and kill them as well. Like, let's focus one of them down while we can. That'll be fine. And then Hesed, your job, hit them in the sides. Go bayonet combat, and then forward march. Land as many hits as you can, get as much ammo as you can. This starts as poorly as I would expect. But big hits in return. Good, good. It's a start. That last hit of Ujat hits really hard, so it's very handy. It will be really funny if I end up losing this, because it will just show how definitively this idea is a lot worse. And I'll be like, okay, guess I don't know shit about deck building, guys. I hate that it goes to their motion track. It annoys me so much. So, we'll make fine silk. At the moment, it would only gain, if I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would only gain 5 power. So it would be a 6-8, which is pretty pathetic in the grand scheme of things. But this is why we're continuing to cover Hesed while he builds himself up. So, pick the fastest targets and deal with them. Forehead will take a lot of damage, but he has got 14 protection, so I think he's going to be okay. Alright, well now's the time for Hesed to actually step in and take a hit. Because there's no need for Forehead to take quite that much damage. You have 0 charge, you should start building that. Yeah, and brace up as well. And you don't play anything else, you're still building your hand, reload will help with that. Ammunition and a page, which is very helpful. Yep, you're getting the shit kicked out of you, but it's fine. Stagger resist might be a slight concern in the later parts of these kinds of fights, but I guess in the end, if his head can do what he needs to do. If he can do enough damage, it shouldn't matter too much. Okay, so. Yeah, courage. For his head. That's a good start. That's what we want. And we got our music back. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8 cards right now. So if this will make Fine Silk, would get 8 power. If we only used 1 card. Also gaining 3 strength. Let's test it. Nothing really good to test. That would be a suitable test. Because I'm guessing you're gaining pierce damage, aren't you? Yeah, you're gaining pierce power. That will be a suitable test. Let's see how this works. Don't use any other cards this turn, just use that one. And the rest of you continue doing what you were doing. You've been doing a great job of it so far, so just keep it up. A messenger might actually work well for this, just to throw out... Yeah, a messenger might actually work to support his set, give them some card draw or something. That might be a good idea. I appreciate that this was described to me as a Star of the City deck, so I have taken it beyond that and gone into Imperatus Civitatis, which means I might actually have to do a test against the Hana Association to see if this truly works. Go for it. Big hit. That's fine. Yeah. Hey, that went quite well. A lot of negative clashes, but it works. Yeah, that's expected. That's much better. So we can make, this will make Fine Silk work quite well for us. More light from the librarians. See, that could work quite well if his head's light starts to drop off. I hope it doesn't make the horrible noise. As it stands, no one has more light than his head right now anyway, but that might change. We'll make Fine Silk on them, and then follow up with Brace Up to draw more cards. And then next turn, hit him with Final Stroke, because we'll have gained the card draw from Brace Up. We'll have also gained Fascinating Fabrics from This Will Make Fine Silk, and we will have gained ammo, which means Final Stroke will have the most amount of cards it can work with. Damn, Forehead, you really are taking these hits, let me tell you. It's quite impressive. We'll see how this goes. Good. Stagger deflects, that guy is fucked. Straight up. Expected. Also expected. Decent hit in return. So, what I want to point out, because it is kind of important, is that... Yeah, and his head just killed them. What I want to point out, because it is important, is that in these cliff notes I've been given, a deck will only go up to 8 cards with ammunition, a deck can go up to 10. This will make things like... We'll make Fine Silk roll a 10 to 12. We just got... We'll make Fine Silk to roll a 10 to 12 with very little effort. It was quite easy, actually. And we still have more things to work with here. We still have more things to go. More damage to do. 2, 4, 6... Oh no, you discarded Final Stroke. No, you've ruined my plans. Oh, that's a shame. But, yeah. We're getting similar levels of results earlier with less effort, is kind of my point. Now, once again, the fun factor must be taken into account. If the other thing is more enjoyable for someone to play, they should play that. But for me personally, it already feels a little bit more satisfying to play. Even though it's not actually working very well right now, because we're going to need to have another turn of his head just kind of hanging back and not using anything in order to build up more cards. These Ujat decks definitely do need some work, but they're definitely doing their jobs as well. The amount of damage reduction we're getting is incredible. And having them tank for him, even though, yeah, Forehead just got staggered, nevertheless, the amount of damage reduction has been amazing. That was a good hit. That's an interesting one. Well, that could work. Yeah, we'll give his head power of the past. I reckon we could actually make use of that. Definitely want Faded Memories. That's very important. Now they're going for Forehead, and we're like, no, no, no. Now, while we haven't gotten quite what we wanted from this, it's still not a big deal. Because his head can come in and deal with that. Hold on to the rest of his stuff. We're going to need it later. Go for it. Good, that's 1. And that's 2. Everyone draws cards. You hit him back, so that's really all that matters. He's almost staggered. He's about to die. Big stagger. Excellent. Okay, alright. Maybe I need to put another final stroke in Hised's deck, because he's not fucking drawing it. Aww. Hised, you're making me look foolish. Well, this is a point where we can actually... We don't need to be too skittish about using ammunition. You got bullets, just shoot them, forehead. Yeah, they're dead. Yeah, your gun's got it, boy. Get rid of all their die. Exhausting ammunition also provides more ammunition, so Hised can still contribute even in these cases. Plus, honestly, having a focus on attempting to make sure we have the max amount of cards at any given time before we use any of our cards feels a little frustrating. Although we do just have way too much ammo. Yeah, it's becoming an issue, definitely. Something to take into consideration, that's for sure. So it still has many problems, and it's definitely not efficient, but we have a system to work with here. And the combination of the UJAT squad means that our big card user, as it were, our big hand user, has a lot of bodyguards to back them up. So yes, Hised now needs to build up his hand. This will be slightly more difficult now because they've got a lot more die, but we can see what we can do about it. Fight that with ready up. Just keep stacking that shit! So it's an unlock 1, an unlock 1, and wait for it, an unlock 1. Oh, there's also a binding chains. Well, I propose we ignore the binding chains because we'll probably lose that anyway, and instead focus on doing... Nope, that was the wrong. And just focus on seeing if we can hit them back and getting cards at the same time. Unlock 1, forward march. We will land some hits there. That is inevitable. Okay. That was good. That went very well, actually. There we go. Perfect. Big no. Big yes. That's just unfortunate, but she is taking less damage thanks to that trigram. Good. Very good. Lots of damage on that. That went pretty well, to be honest. Minimal damage. I think a warm heart's the one that makes awful sounds, isn't it? But nevertheless, we need to be practical here. That probably is the best for Hised right now. We'll go harvest, because that's actually very useful for what we're running right now. Damn, this music's good. I think it's a situation we're in making use of, we'll make fine silk. Will actually just help us draw more cards, like as it was described in the cheat sheet. The problem is I just realized all of our cards cost light now. I hadn't considered that. So that wasn't a very good choice on my part, I'll take that straight up. These cards are gaining power bonuses. Quite a few, actually. Might be enough to deal with that. So go all in on that, and then use forward march on, say... that, and just cause them problems. Still got more than 3 light, so still gaining the power bonuses. God, it's really hard to tell sometimes where things are coming from. Amongst all this crap. Got an opportunity there, and then... yeah, you can't actually, so never mind that. Just swing at them. Just focus on taking them down. You've done all your shit for the turn. Let's see how this goes. Solid. Everyone gets their card draw. Dealt with that. That was hilarious. Did a lot of damage. Whereas their attacks are doing very little damage, and a lot of that stagger resist is being recovered each turn. Forward march absolutely decimated him. Juliet might end up staggering, but it wouldn't be the end of the world if she did, because she's just not taking very much damage. Solid. Oh no, the ticking noise. So we're gonna have to deal without sound effects for a while. Okay, I'm actually gonna use Final Stroke this time because I want to see what it can do. And we're gonna use it on Esther because fuck that guy. Just fuck that guy. Let's make him see what's happening. You've got plenty of charge. Deal with that. God, this music is phenomenal though, isn't it? Jesus Christ. Use Graze the Grass there. Just... Actually, no, better yet. Use Energy Beam and it will help you out in the future. Graze the Grass on that. You're just gonna have to take that because, yeah, I told you to. Because I told you to. You have to do it because I told you to. Oojat. Graze the Grass. Brace up. Keep it going, keep it going. See what we got. Fuck them up. Big hit, big defense, big hit. Not a lot of damage, to be honest with you. Final Stroke might honestly not be worth it. It's hard to argue with Impugnatio Ultima, to be honest. It just feels like a better version of that card. So if you want a reason to not use Social Sciences for this, it's so you don't have to deal with that ticking sound effect that is horrible. That would definitely be a reason to not use this team. Give that to his head. That's just funny. And also helpful. So Hesed's hand is a lot smaller now. That's fine. So all we're going to want to do now is get some faded memories going as setup. Eradication, yeah, that's an issue. And castigation, that's also an issue. And decapitation, that's also an issue. But faded memories can take care of that. Homing Instinct might be able to take care of that. I don't know, we'll see. Wait, that's not a mass attack, is it? Ah. New idea then. Harvest to deal with that. Sorted. I still want you to use Homing Instinct. If they're gonna spam us with mass attacks, we'll spam them with mass attacks. I don't give a fuck. Wait, is this a mass summation? Oh, but it doesn't work, does it? Because you wouldn't be able to intercept decapitation. What a bother. What a bother you are. You're a fucking bother. It's what you are. Try will make fine silk and hope for the best, but I'm not expecting much. Give it a try. That dealt with castigation, very good. And everyone got their cards, very good. Hesed passed very much. Wow. That was a lot of power gain. Staggered him. Uh-huh. Fucking wrecked. Wow, Will Make Fine Silk worked really well there. That's how you get that going. So, whoever made this, the person who made this, I know who made this. The person who made this was very right about Will Make Fine Silk. That's a great card. It can be used very effectively. It just has to be maybe set up in a different way. It feels like setting it up this way allows for a more reliable means of getting it to be effective. That's just my opinion, though. Could be, honestly, like, I could be wrong. I'm really not trying to sit here and act like I know everything about this, because it's been frequently established that I don't. Is it 3 or more on, more like the librarian? 3 or more. Okay, well, now's the time for Magic Trick, isn't it? Fascinating Fabric would deal with that. Honestly, it feels like for the main part, we just want to set up for, We'll Make Fine Silk. That seems like the strongest way to go here, because the numbers coming from that were kind of intense. Graze the Grass for light gain, it's all good, and then you also lean in on him, because I quite like him dead now. He's been quite a pain throughout this battle. Deal. Fascinating Fabric did it perfectly. This is all fine. Fucking wrecked. A lot of damage. That did nothing. Yeah, this is a good way to go. So yeah, I'll write that one down, is that social sciences works quite well for this, because it provides more cards, it provides more light, and it provides stat bonuses. On top of everything else that this deck is doing, it can be very effective. I'm learning as much as you guys are sometimes. Most of you aren't learning. Most of you already know this shit. This is just me learning it. But when I'm like, oh, if I do this and then get that, I'm learning. I'm literally trying shit out and seeing what's happening. And so far, I'm quite impressed. Unfortunately, you're using Eradication again, but we'll make Fine Silk should deal. As long as we can make sure you've got at least 3 lights at the start of the turn. That's a 7. No one else is going to be able to block it, so you're going to have to go in there and take it. Build up the ammunition. You can pay it off. And then you throw your free shit at them to kill them. You're not going to stagger this turn unless that rolls ungodly high, but something tells me it won't. It'll be high. It'll be painful. Oh, for sure, but not that high. Grace the grass. Yeah. This is working surprisingly well, I've got to be honest. I was not expecting this to do as well as it has been. But it's definitely been a success. Now, is it the best thing ever? No, obviously. I'd be very interested to see what people's opinions are on this one, to be honest, because something else is coming in. That. Okay, ready up on that. There we go. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what people's opinions are on this, to be honest, because it's strange. There's a lot of power, but you have to work for it. Now, my changes, I believe, have resulted in you having to requiring you to work for it less, right? There's less faff involved with getting it running. This is all well... Oh, wow, staggered him. This is all well and good. It may have detracted from the joy of playing with it, but I'm enjoying playing with it right now, to be honest. I'm having fun with this. It feels solid, but I do feel like, despite how long this is running for, and, oh yeah, we've been going for a while, I am going to run this against the Hana Association and see how it goes, because right now, it was originally advertised as a Star of the City deck, and we went up against Star of the City opponents. I've now basically upgraded this to a Imperator Civitatis deck, which means we need to judge it accordingly. Me sitting here and saying, well, I decided to use stuff from later in the game and then it worked really well, is not fair. Just straight up, it's not fair. So, we're going to test this a bit. We're going to test this one more time, basically, after this. And honestly, if I just press P, everyone else will probably finish this. There's no need to worry about this too much now. The amount of damage coming in will be more than Gloria can handle. She's already staggered and we hadn't even clashed with her, so she's fucking done, basically. Yeah, that works quite well. Well above my expectations. Damn that fucking damage, though. You can sure turn them into that deck into a powerhouse. And I bet you could do that with how it was before. In fact, it might even have been more powerful the way it was before. But there was just for me specifically, there was just too much faff involved with getting it there. That was my complaint, is that there was just too much faff. Wasn't very player friendly. You really had to wrestle with it. Now, I'll tell you what, if we're just gonna fucking, the downside to Impugnatio Ultima is that it costs a lot, and it will cost 5 if we run what we just did, but it's only 2+ power. We'll give it a try. We're trying things out. Also, can I just say, right, as a hetero man, I like women, but damn does his head look good right now. What a fucking Chad. So, this will be the final test. This is the final test, the true test, I suppose, the truest test of what we're doing here with this deck that I've made. Can we deal with the Hana Association and Mirene with this team? If we can, I would consider this deck to be a success. If we can't, then I would say that while I feel my changes have made some positive changes, I think it has actually helped the deck quite a bit, it's still not really viable for what I have turned it into, because I have taken this to Imperator Civitatis. That's funny. Yeah, it's going to be more tricky now because they have more speed die. But as before, the hope is that the increase to just the general protection will keep us safe. Whether or not it works out that way is anyone's guess, but hey. You don't actually have to land these hits in order to gain your extra cards, so you can be a little bit more involved. Unyielding Strike is a rough one, let's be real. You could just go Impugnatio Ultima straight away, but I don't really know. Every 3 successful attacks with melee combat pages add random ammunition. Okay, and the discard would also provide benefits. Yeah. Go Impugnatio Ultima, because it doesn't matter how many cards you discard, it will still work. And then you... Oh yeah, you can't use Reload. Then use Forward March to start stacking that shit as well. We'll see how that goes. That's about right. That's about right. We might be slightly outpowered here, it's worth pointing out. This might be a bit much for us, and I'd be willing to accept that. I'm not sat here thinking, I need to make this work so everyone thinks I'm good at deck building, because I don't give a fuck. I just want to see how this works. Really could have done with you landing that first hit, but Forward March does make up for it. Good. Good. Amazing. Superb. Superb. You're not gaining that protection yet, Sonny Jim. Oh boy. Get courage going. We did some damage, but they definitely did more damage to us this scene. And Hesed has not drawn well. He has not drawn well. So he might need to back off this turn. Damn, that's an 8. Damn, look at that 8. That's crazy. Honestly, I think we'll make Fine Silk might actually be a decent choice right now. Get the Fascinating Fabric and get things going. And match their brace up, because you can. Confrontation. Oh, Confrontation! That's a card I should have considered for this idea. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Lean in on them. That's fine, did what it needed to. Good, very good. That went perfectly, to be honest. That went great. His head didn't even feel that. I'm surprised you lost that, actually. That worked out. The damage is negligible. The stagger is a concern, but we already have a means by which, like, the Ujat have built-in means to mitigate that, so it's really not a big deal. And we're healing on hits. Your hand is looking a little better now. But I don't think it's quite time to cash in just yet. We want to build this up a bit more. Honestly, if you could spam bayonet combat, that would work quite well for us. Try and mitigate the damage there, I suppose. Oh no, you need to use Graze the Grass first. Alright, fuck it then, whatever. It's fine. Oh my god, Divinatory Impact. Alright, well we're gonna test the capabilities of our protection. You've only got 4 well, you're in trouble. You're just in trouble. Maybe it doesn't need to be that way. Forehead has a lot more protection. So use Golden Opportunity there. And then ready up down there. Confrontation will still suck, but hey. We did the best we could for you. Can't win the fight for you, really. Brace up will not beat that straight up, so just Graze the Grass. You might be able to beat the first eye of that with Brace Up. Go for it. It's fine, we're getting our shit back. Although, yeah, the damage is pretty real. God damn. Ugh. The stagger damage is definitely mounting, which is worrying. But that is kind of a fact of life for this deck. You know what? You parried Divinatory Impact pretty fucking well, actually. Good. Exceptional. And he's been staggered, which puts us in a much stronger position. Cardii would work very well for you. Oh, yeah. Oh, he said, this is a hand. This is a fucking hand. Let me tell you. This hand, it's the hand. Now, you're not exactly going to decimate them with this hand, but you can do some stuff with it. Throw out a fascinating fabric. You can just contest a bit more of the board, because our other members, our other people are struggling a little bit. Maybe hit them with a flame ammunition. Just get it going. Using cards is good. Using cards gets more cards. Energy beam that. Confrontation. Ah, that's unfortunate. Alright, don't energy beam it then. I guess we can't be fun. No, we have to be responsible. Whatever. Ha ha ha! Oh! Oh! Hmm. It's risky, but ready up is probably the best bet for dealing with that, and then... Forehead can deal with confrontation. And then continue to lean in on that guy and make sure he dies. And that seems like the best we got. Big hit. Solid, solid, very good. Better than I expected. Good. Not good. Ah, yeah. Well, that's about right. Ooh. I don't know if we'll win this one. Yeah, I don't know if we'll win this one. Oh, boy. We definitely got set up better last time than we did this time. Oof. Oof. The stagger is a constant concern. I should have got him gleaning, perhaps. Is that the one? No, the other one. Whatever. I can't think of what it is, but the other one that gives him stagger resist when he attacks people. Probably should have got him that. Yeah, we'll do it that way. And homing instinct, because that's very helpful. You survived. I wish you hadn't. Brace up. Well, that should be easily dealt. I mean, no, not actually, because no one's fast enough to deal with it. Ah, problems. But homing instinct would take care of it. Well, that covers Juliet at the very least. That's a start. And this actually gives Hesed a free turn to do whatever the fuck he likes. You could use Impugnatio Ultima to take that guy down. I reckon you can do it. And then flame ammunition that. Should be alright. Well, it'll be something, that's for sure. Hit him with the house! Yeah! You'll love to see it. That's fine. Good. Very good. Practically no damage, so who gives a fuck? That's not great. We're just cycling our staggered characters now. I was really hoping he'd die. He didn't, which is unfortunate. Oh boy, 2 staggered now. Yeah, no. This definitely has not worked as well. We're struggling with the first round, and we've still got a harder round to go after this. I suspect, Juliet, that you might need a defensive bonus. Just getting that impression. Okay, alright. Okay, oh, and they're fast as well. Ah, lovely. That's an 8, it's a Celestial Spirit. And we need to kind of keep them off of, poison, because that divinatory impact will just kill him. No two ways about it. The problem is Hesed also doesn't regenerate, stagger resist like everyone else does. And nothing Hesed has will stop all of that. Golden opportunity could work, but it would require perfect rolls, and I don't see it, but hey. We gotta try. Well, poison will take a hit, that's for sure, and it's gonna be quite a bad one. That helps. I don't see it, really. Well, that just did not work, did it, really, Pilgrim? Oh, God, there were 2. Ah. Ooh. The protection is coming into play, but it can only do so much. We definitely lack power. That's something. Youch. Youch. Not too bad, honestly, all things considered. Yeah, that's not good. That's pretty good. That's better. That's not good. Well, everyone's not back now. Juliet was staggered. Okay. One of them is staggered. That guy is still alive. That has been one of my biggest failings, is having that guy still be alive. That has been a failing. A big failing. Should have killed him a while ago. It's fine, though. This track is banging. Bum, 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 bum. But Hesed hasn't been able to get to the point where he can really build his power, unfortunately. Forward march to deal with forward march makes sense to me. Frost ammunition to deal with that makes sense to me. Confrontation. Fascinating fabric could deal with that. And then anything that could be intercepted. Not really. Not without risk. Let's see what these guys can do before we continue. Fortunately, no one's attacking Juliet. This is good. This helps. Unfortunately, you've got one ready up and now you're out of light. So, yeah, well, that's an issue. Great video. Ujat. Fuck it. Just hit him then. You know, if things aren't going to go the way we want them to, then just hit them. Forehead, save us. Forehead, save us. Save us, Forehead. Raise the grass, and then you can't really intercept anything, so just go for them, see if you can kill them. There we go, he's gone. That did something to them as well. Good. Excellent. Things are a little better now. Good. Excellent. You took that hit like a champ. Bam. Kablams. That's not great. Okay, well, at least one of them's dead. That's something. Okay, well. Warm heart to his head. And faded memories, because it's important. And the music has changed. Oh, they've all got 3 speed die now. No! If we could mass attack you, you will just stagger. You might stagger too. Try. Oh, they're not going to get staggered. No, they are not going to get staggered, which I'm pretty sure means Juliet is out. That's just the way of it. Ujat them. Keep the damage reduction going. It is all that's keeping us alive right now, is the damage reduction. Oh. That's not a good situation to be in. Give it a try. Do your best. Good start. That one's already staggered. Unfortunately, that person blocked both attacks, because if they hadn't, they would have staggered and everything would have been okay. But they didn't. Ooh, you're still alive. Not great, but that's better. I wish you were dead. I really do. I wish that had killed you. Thank you, Forehead. I appreciate it. She's still alive. Somehow, Juliet's still going, which means we still gain our maximum power bonus, and now that's kicked in. How fucking annoying. But you're nearly dead, and you two are nearly staggered. We can work with that. You've got a lot of cards. Okay, so as long as you have more than 3 or more light at the end of the turn, you're doing good. This is overkill, but if Hesed throws out enough gunshots, that person will just die, and that'll be them taken care of. And now the rest of us can focus on the rest of them. Divinatory impact. Why do you keep doing this? You have a problem, sir. You need help. Tell you what, screw it. Frost ammunition that. Surely you will kill them, and then you can turn around and kill them. Although they do have protection, which makes this scary. You gotta try, Doe. You gotta try. I don't like it, but your best bet to surviving that would be... Oh, God, you're doing it too. Best bet to surviving that would be to just hit them as hard as you can once. And if it works, amazing. If it doesn't work, you're dead. All right, Forehead. You can screw this guy up. You can do it. You can do it. Probably. That person should die. Shouldn't even matter what they do. They should be out. We'll throw some extra weight behind making sure this person goes. Do a bunch of economy shit. You have plenty of charge, so throw a ready up at them. And we'll see how that goes. Good. Good. There we go. Took them down. Staggered them. Perfect. And a good hit as well. That may have brought things back for us. Forehead, that was exceptional. That was so cool. That was everything we needed. By all rights, this should now be over. Because both of them are staggered, we've got all of our people. Wait, does Juliet not have Hellfaller? Why does Juliet not have Hellfaller? What? But I was no, because she's the Mirenet user, so she doesn't have Hellfaller. Right, yeah. Oh, and she's actually the linchpin behind this entire plan. Bollocks. Yeah, because it's thanks to her that protection gets spread around so much. Oh, fuck. I forgot about the linchpin. Okay, then. Oh, for fuck's sake. I reckon Hesed with his power bonuses could probably beat Celestial Spear. Yeah, that's good. They have a Mirenet, though, and that's an issue because they have a Mirenet. And we've seen how effective Mirenet is. Gain strength. Yeah. And then use Faded Memories on... Yeah, fuck it, that. And then we'll try and work this. We'll just try and work it. Put a thing down, flip it, and reverse it. That's what we'll do. In exactly that manner. True trigram formation. I forgot about true trigram formation, I gotta be honest. That's a problem. And hit their forward march as well. These attacks will allow you to get more cards. That will get you more cards as well. It all works out. Theoretically. Everything is very theoretically around here. Energy. That's fine. Delta can cover you. Okay, well, we'll see how this goes. That went perfectly. That helped us a lot, actually. That went pretty well. It was okay. We got the cards. Good hit. Okay, it's going just fine. Oh, your counter die. God damn you. It said it's still doing quite well, though. Youch. Good. Very good. Excellent even. Even fantastic, perhaps. Okay, well, things happened. No one died. Mirenet took quite a bit of damage. We're back in it, though, and we don't have the advantage of mass attacks this time. You'll mitigate the first hit, then you'll take stagger on the second hit, and then presumably win the third one, and then take the fourth one. It's not a bad result, honestly. You're using Celestial Spear. Fuck it. Hesed, go for it and use Impugnatio Ultima. I think that'll work out for you, probably. I don't know, we'll see. And Hesed, you're doing fine health-wise, so I'm actually gonna have you try and contest that. Is it gonna work? No. No, it won't. But you can try, and then hit her with everything. What? Yeah, hit her with everything you got. And see how this goes. Good, that helped. That helped. Paralysis. Good. I was hoping you'd do better, but you did land the hit. Big hits. Basically crippled that guy. And your counter die just rocked that guy, which was incredible. Not unexpected, or not, whatever. What I mean is I'm not surprised. Why do I say things fancy like? Why can't I just say them normal? Yeah, that didn't work. I was hoping the paralysis might help, but nah, I think that applies next turn anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. Landed a lot of hits on her. We'll go Powder of Life this time. I think we're going to need it. Because we kind of need everyone alive as well. And logging would be helpful for dealing with a Divinatory Strike. Oh, there it is. Okay. Give that a try. Let's see how this goes. It's going to be a bit chaotic. We got rid of some stuff. And we're just doing general damage, which is nice. In fact, Mirenet is now staggered. That's very good. In fact, most of them are staggered. We might just be fine. I think we're fine. Yeah, they're kind of fucked now, actually. Well, that's a minor issue, but it's okay. Yeah, they're kind of just screwed now. Okay, I think we've actually brought this back. I didn't think we were going to win this round, but ow. You know what? It's all working out. Mirene is definitely dead, yes. That wasn't great, but it's fine. 2 of them are staggered. Okay, that's pretty good. Divinatory impact is always a pain, and I wish you would stop. Fuck it, hit him with something really hard. This fight is basically over now. We're sorted. There's no need to worry too much. Just make sure those 2 die. Hit him with a brace up, I guess. And hit him in the side with a forward march. And hit him in the side with a brace up. Yeah, this should be fine. Staggered, sorted. Nearly dead. Good thing I decided to throw another attack at them. Good. That went reasonably well. Good. Very good. Oh god. Oh god. With the Ujat mask, that's especially terrifying. Didn't do a lot of damage, but oh, it's fine. It's actually okay. They're dead. They're dead. They're dead. Yeah, we got this. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're fine. So I'll round this off, and then we'll actually talk about this a bit more. Good. Ow. She's alive because of the powder of life, so she's not even gonna die. Everything's fine. There we go. It's over. So, yeah. Oh, wow, the damage. Yeah, he's quite dead. It's difficult because, yes, my changes were stronger, but that's not really the core of what... That's not the whole point of what we're doing here, basically. Did it really adhere to what the original deck was going for? To an extent, yes. In the sense that it made use of large amounts of cards and paying them off. But to be honest, I'd say a lot of the power of this deck really came from just piling a bunch of Flora of Social Sciences bonuses onto his Sed. So, iffy in terms of its general fairness in a direct comparison. I found it more enjoyable to use this way because it felt like less of a faff. There was less build-up and roughly the same amount, if not more, payoff. So... But it's worth pointing out that the person who submitted this deck may well prefer to do all of that setup. It keeps the mind going, you know, working for a payoff. Which would make sense, you know, that would give the deck value in of itself if it's enjoyable to play. At the end of the day, what I say here today does not actually have any bearing on the value of the deck itself from a objective standpoint, right? The person should continue to play this deck if they enjoy it. For me personally, nah, not really feeling it. It's a shame, but in the end of the day, leaning more towards a discard style of gameplay improved it significantly, and it really just feels like if you want to run this type of thing, just do discard. It turns out that Will Make Fine Silk can actually become frighteningly powerful, but it's worth pointing out that I could have built this entirely different with completely different cards and probably gotten a stronger result. So I like Will Make Fine Silk. I think that's a great card. But it's not especially effective, and really started to suffer in these late parts of the game. But then again, it is like a, what? Where is it exactly from? Yeah, it's Urban Plague. It's halfway through the game and we're dealing with endgame shit. So the fact that it performs as well as it did is admirable. Impugnatio Ultima is okay. Doesn't really suit this kind of gameplay style because it doesn't matter how many cards you discard for Impugnatio Ultima. Make sure I'm correct on that. Yeah, all dice on this page gain +2 power. You could discard 1 page and they would still gain +2 power. You could discard 9 pages and they would still gain +2 power. Doesn't make much difference. It's a great card, but it doesn't really matter how many cards you have in your hand when you do that. I didn't really make use of Psych Up. I'd say that was probably a waste. That wasn't necessary. Could have replaced that with something better. Anything really would have been better. So this has the capacity to be even stronger than it already is. Overall, interesting idea, and I appreciated receiving it. It's why, amongst all of the submissions I got, I decided to do this one first, because I found it the most interesting, and because this person actually went to the effort of really showcasing what the deck was about, how to play it, and what they thought of it. Like, they gave me an entire fucking cheat sheet for it and everything, and that's incredible. So, thank you so much. If any, like, that was super helpful in allowing me to review the deck. I'm sorry it didn't perform or rate as well as either of us might have hoped, but that's the nature of it, isn't it, really? Like, I wouldn't even dare to try and test that up against the Hana Association, against that fight we just did, because it would not win. Straight up. We would have to abuse the fuck out of the Flora of Natural Sciences innate, like, you know, Abno page and Ego page abilities in order to survive that battle. Which we kind of did for Social Sciences, but I felt like more of it did come down to the decks themselves. These Ujat things are great though. Jesus Christ, these guys just almost never take damage. Their weakness is stagger, sure, but even that is mitigated to a point. And I haven't even built these particularly well. I did these rushed. I just threw these together at the last minute, and they work exceptionally well. So, spamming Ujat is a viable strat because the amount of damage reduction you get is incredible. I'd say have 4, like, Ujat users, as it were, with, well, 3 Ujat users, because there isn't that many, with a Nemo page, with Miranate act as your linchpin, and then have your last person be a hard damage dealer. Like, have all of your power and ridiculousness go on that one character, and let them go nuts, while the rest of them basically tank damage. That works quite well. In fact, I might use this to test decks in the future, have the Ujats in the background, so that the person whom we're testing has more staying power, and we can really see what they've got, and see how their deck works without the fear of them just dying straight away. But these are thoughts for the future. Let me know what you think, in many ways. Let me know what you think of the deck that was originally submitted. Let me know of what you think of the changes I made to it. Did I make good changes? Did I make bad changes? Were they really in fitting with the original spirit of the deck that was submitted? Or did I just kind of make it a bit more boring? I enjoyed playing this for what it's worth. It forced me to think a bit more, but I'd say maybe the last deck was just a bit too user-unfriendly and a bit too reliant on luck. That would probably be my assessment of it, but yeah, let me know what you think. I'd be interested to hear it. Feel free to submit more decks. Just because I chose this one this time, even though the rest of you have submitted decks, does not mean that those decks you submitted are not going to be used. I just went with this one first because it caught my eye. It caught my interest. I decided to go for it. So continue submitting your decks, either in the comments or in the Ruina deck submissions channel, lobby. It's a lobby on the Discord server. I check both. I'd say it's more likely to be seen if it's on the Discord, but if you don't fancy joining the Discord, you can put it in the comments and I will check. Feel free to resubmit them as well. Don't worry about nagging me about doing your deck by posting it on multiple videos. Keep resubmitting it, because it will increase my chances of seeing it. It might be a case that I'm not ignoring you because your deck ain't good or I'm not interested, but because it was submitted in the last video and I don't remember. So feel free to continue resubmitting. Literally go to the last video, copy your fucking comment and paste it here if you want to. You'll get no bother from me. That way we can ensure that everyone's decks have the best chance of being seen. I want this to be fair. In the end of the day, it does come down to what I choose to do, what I find interesting, what I decide to do. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been a fucking long one, and I didn't think it was going to be this long. I was going to do 2 recordings today, but I guess not now. It's been 3 hours. Thank you so much for watching. Christ. Special thanks to Beep, Adash Sanjeev, Alkir, Honeydew Corporation, Sweet Baby Red, MB Elias, Lord Skullington, Jessicitty, Plutonium Pie, Dreamer Ghost, Leper Lullaby, K-Bub, Magic Owl, The Frostbite, Monsoon, Sir World, Jumping with Joy, Warmaster Oku, SCP-106A, Namad, and Kenny800 for supporting me on Patreon. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you all so much for watching. Once again, let me know what you think. And once again, make sure you submit and resubmit your decks. If you've already submitted one, feel free to submit more. I'm not doing this by a, like, oh, I've already done one by this person, so I'm not doing another one. I'm literally going to pick what I find the most interesting. So submit as many as you want, as many times as you want. Go for it. No restraint on that until, I guess, inevitably, somehow, for some reason, I do have to put a restraint on it. But for now, I don't see any reason to put any restraints on it. So make sure you submit. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. It's difficult doing this series because I am a very young Ruina player, right? I haven't been here very long, and I'm definitely not as experienced as many other people, and I'm definitely not an authority on deck building. So I implore you to take some of what I say here with a pinch of salt. If you think I'm wrong about something, it's probably because I'm wrong about it. Straight up. I'm not a fucking Ruina pro. Not that anyone has been getting on my case, let me make that clear. But I'm just saying, I'm sure you're thinking it, so I'm just trying to address it before it becomes a reoccurring issue. I'm not great at this. I'm doing my best. I'm better than I used to be, but I'm still definitely not a pro. I'm just evaluating decks with my relatively towards you guys inexperienced mindset. But it's fun, I'm enjoying it. It's why I just did this for 3 hours, because I kind of got into it. But I'm rambling now. Thank you so much for watching. Whatever happens next time, and I have no idea what deck I'll pick next time. I'm not sure. I'll think about it, but whatever I do next time, I hope I see you there. Toodles! Goodbye!